Alright people, so I want to do a video on the Iowa caucuses. Now, I'm sure we've all seen the results. Ted Cruz won the Republican side. Clinton narrowly won the Democrat side. So I want to talk about the fact that there are very suspicious things surrounding the victories of both of these candidates. Now, a lot of the talk is on the Republican or on the Democratic side of a fraudulent election, and I'll cover that first, I guess. So we have, since there was a tie in some of the precincts in Iowa, they flipped a coin to figure out who won, and Hillary won all 6 of them. That's so fucking funny. You know, in the real world, if you flip a fucking coin, you know, it'll land on heads and sometimes, and then it will land on tails. The chances of winning 6 times in a row were less than 2% for Hillary, yet she did it. You think there's a coincidence there? I think not. I think that Hillary probably bought off somebody or something happened. And then, you know, there was a bunch of calls being, there was just if you look it up, you know, in the news, there was just a bunch of confusion due at like 2 in the morning. Like the Democratic Party's like calling up precincts at 2 in the morning to find shit out, and a bunch of craziness surrounding that, and the coin flips and shit like that on the Democratic side. And then we move to the Republican side, where we have Ted Cruz winning by 4%. Now it's obvious that the establishment doesn't like Donald Trump. They don't want him to win. They don't want him to win the nomination or the presidency, and I think that anybody but Cruz, anybody but Trump being the Republican nomination is going to easily secure a Hillary victory. Because Ted Cruz, there's no fucking way Ted Cruz is going to beat Hillary. There's no way fucking Mr. Establishment Marco Rubio is going to beat Hillary. There's no fucking way that anybody can beat Hillary besides Donald Trump. He is our only hope, unless like Bernie Sanders decides to run third party, or that Jim Webb guy decides to run third party. I mean, pretty much Donald Trump's our only hope. So I mean, there's no point in really supporting anybody else besides him. Yes, he's not perfect, but he's pretty damn good. All right. I mean, what are we going to support Rand Paul, who just actually dropped out? I mean, I guess you could support Ted Cruz, but look at him. He's in bed with Goldman Sachs. Look at the lies that are coming out of his campaign. Now, this is a guy I once, you know, thought was all right. Now he's like he's handing out fucking voter things to the voters in Iowa, telling them they didn't vote, and it's making it look like it's like an official government thing to tell them to vote. He spread the lie that Ben Carson's campaign was over. I mean, this guy now, you know, he failed to disclose the loan from Goldman Sachs. He's a fucking born-in Canadian when the Constitution says natural-born citizen. I'm pretty sure natural-born citizen. I mean, it's never been defined before in the courts, but I don't think you need an expert. Like a lot of people say, oh, the constitutional expert says this, says that. You don't need an expert, I don't think, to, you know, interpret many parts of the Constitution. What does natural born citizen mean to you? You know, when you hear it, they didn't define, you know, a lot of terms they don't define in the Constitution because they were thought it was pretty obvious what it meant. Like the Second Amendment and the militia term meant citizens having arms, not the government, you know, not the National Guard having arms or shit like that. Natural born citizen to me means you were naturally born in the U.S. You were born in the U.S. Cruz was not born in the U.S. He was born in Canada, yes. So Cruz is never going to beat Hillary. So that's why we shouldn't get behind Cruz. And he's a fucking liar now, it's coming out. I mean, Trump's our fucking best bet by far. So, and also you got Rubio, too, who's gotten donations from Microsoft, who was counting. Oh, that's right. Microsoft was the ones counting the votes. Yeah, that makes sense. By the way, Hillary, guess who gave to Hillary? Microsoft. Guess who gave to Marco Rubio? Microsoft. So yeah, that's really unbiased right there. You got a fucking company that's giving money to the candidates running, counting the fucking votes. Yeah, that's really, no corruption there, huh? I mean, just look at those facts that I just laid out in the last 5 minutes. Are you suspicious? Especially the coin flip thing. It's so ridiculous. And all the polls, too, leading up to this for like the last week. Like the last 8 polls out of Iowa had Trump up. Many of them by like 5-10 points. Marco was a distant third, yet Trump loses by 4 percentage points. Marco is barely trailing Trump. I think there's some suspicious activities going on here. I think that there's definitely something going on with on both sides, on both the Republican and Democratic sides. So, I mean, there you go. You got the liar Ted Cruz now winning, but fortunately Donald Trump is dominant. I don't get why Iowans, like this Ted Cruz guy, but everywhere else Donald Trump's like defeating everybody. So Donald Trump, fuck it. They fucked him over in Iowa. Ted Cruz lied about shit and whatever. So he got fucked over in Iowa. But he's up big in like every other fucking state. It's not even close. Like New Hampshire, he's up by like 20 percentage points. There's no way they're gonna fucking... if he's up so much in like a New Hampshire or a South Carolina or whatever state, if he's up by like 20 percentage points, there's no way they're gonna do any fraudulent things on him, because if they do, it'll be so obvious that they did it. So I don't think they're gonna do anything like that where he's up big. So I hope he gets the nomination. I mean, like I said, he's our only hope. Ted Cruz is never going to beat Hillary. He doesn't have the look. He doesn't have the charisma. Just look at it. He is evil. He's turning evil. He's turning, the establishment is, like almost endorsing Ted Cruz now. There's no way he's going to beat Hillary. There's no way anybody on the Republican side besides Trump has a chance of beating Hillary. It's just not going to happen. So there you go, people. I think clearly a lot of fucking suspicious activity going on there with Microsoft and the voting there in Iowa. But I think when it comes down, Cruz won this one, but everywhere else Trump is up big. There's no way that Cruz is going to get the nomination, because when they come out with the Republican polls for average of America, Trump's still up like 20%. So I think Trump's got this one in the bag. Like I said, he's up big at like every other fucking state. So let's just see what happens. So there you go, people. And I think they just did a poll here where I live in Michigan, and Trump was at like 51%, I heard. So that's good. But we'll see. We'll definitely see what happens. So there you go, people. There's my thoughts on the Iowa caucuses. Definitely some suspicious activity going on there. So there you go.